Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be picking my February TBR, and you know what? It's Black History Month, so that means we're only reading books by Black authors, and I know you read books by Black authors all year round. I know it. I can feel it in my bones. So go ahead and comment down below what's on your TBR this month. And normally here on this channel, I will use a TBR jar and like prompts to pick my TBRs. But today I'm exercising my free will as a Black woman to just choose my TBR for February, okay? Today is actually the 5th. Yeah, today is actually the 5th, and I have not read a single book in this month just yet, but you know what? We got a lot of books that I've picked out. Yeah, and I'm so excited to get to them. So if you're interested in seeing what I will be reading, please keep watching. Okay, so the first book that I will be reading in February is Black No More by George Schuler. This is a Penguin classic. I actually seen one of my friends, Sam, on TikTok recommend this book. She reads a lot of classics. It's a satire about a man who ends up going to this like scientist or doctor or something who can basically make you black no more. It turns him into a white man, and just the synopsis of it all sounds very interesting, and I feel like it's gonna give Atlanta, you know, the show Atlanta, but if it was written in 1933. Yeah, I don't know, it just sounds really interesting. It's a short read, and I personally plan to get into more classics in 2026. So first book. Now, the second book that I have on my TBR for February is actually a romance book. It's called The Full Picture by Jessica Carmichael. And I first seen this book on TikTok as well, as one does, you know, and I seen the author making these like really aesthetic posts and was like, if Bolu Babalola met The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I was like, oh yeah, I need this. This follows a girl named Robin who goes back home to Ghana for the first time after her mom dies, and a romance ensues. I believe it also takes place during Dirty December. So I'm interested to see how that goes in this book and how that's described, because all the videos I've ever seen of Dirty December looks so lit. So I definitely had to put some romance in here because Black romance just hits every time. Now, the next book that I got is by the Queen of Unhinged herself. This is Cutthroat by Octavia Grant. If you've ever read an Octavia Grant book, now you know this lady is gonna come up with the wildest things that she could ever think of and put it in a book. I have read 2 of her novellas before, and this is like the first one I've actually had a physical copy of, so I'm very excited about that. All the other ones I read on my Kindle. I don't know what this is about exactly. I think it's about a woman getting revenge on her cheating husband or something. But I like to go into these type of books blind, 1, because it's so short, and 2, because it's so crazy and unhinged. I don't really want to know too much. I just want to be gagged. I want my jaw to be on the floor. And every time I read an Octavia Grant book, it does. Also, I'm going to Chocolate City Lit Fest in April. That's going to be taking place in DC. It's a book festival about Black books, and I'm so excited because Octavia Grant is going to be there, and now that I have a physical book of hers, I'm definitely going to need that signature. I'm gonna need that autograph, Octavia. Now what's crazy is the next book is by another Octavia but it's Octavia Butler. Okay, now this I'm scared of. This is Kindred by Octavia Butler. This is actually my book club pick of the month. If you don't know, I have a book club on Fable called Fellowship Book Club, because we fellowship and kiki about these books together, and it's absolutely free. So if you want to join us and read this with us together, just go ahead and click the link below to the Fable and join. It's public and free. Like I said, we're gonna be in the club lobby and in the chapters spilling our thoughts about this book. Now, Kindred, if you don't know what it's about, this is, I believe, a science fiction, and this woman ends up like going back and forth in time from the present, which I think is like 1976, and then back to slave times in the 1800s Maryland. Yeah, That's terrifying if you ask me. I don't know what exactly to expect, but last month I read Yellow Wife by Sadeko Johnson, and that was also about slavery. The amount of tears that I shed on that book, like, I just couldn't handle it, okay? But it was a 5-star. And so I imagine that this book will be heavy as well, but I'm hoping it'll be another 5-star. So I don't know. This is my first Octavia Butler book, and I'm excited. Next book that I have on my Black History Month TBR is Passing by Nella Larson. Now, this is another short Penguin classic by a Black author, and I'm very excited to read this because it was always something that I found interesting, because I knew a few years ago they had a movie come out for this with Tessa Thompson. It's basically about a Black woman who decides to live her life trying to pass as a white woman, and I can't imagine the terror you would have to like, one, potentially get caught, but two, how do you feel internally because you know that you're suppressing who you truly are and trying to just mask who you truly are? I don't know. Look, I'm just excited to get into these classic books, to continue to like push myself out of my comfort zone. And also, I don't know why, but it's just something about a Penguin classic that just feels so, I'm a smart girl. I'm a thought daughter, you know? Now, the next book that I have is a new release. It literally came out last week, and I'm so excited about it. The Great Disillusionment of Nick and Jay. Now, this is a Great Gatsby retelling with 2 Black boys. I believe one of them is mixed, but of course one is like Jay Gatsby. And look, I have never read the actual Great Gatsby, but I've seen the movie with Leo. I have read another book by Ryan Douglas called The Taking of Jake Livingston, and that was a very interesting book that was also a YA book, because this is YA, but that book was very deep to be YA. And I imagine that this will be too. I'm very excited to get into it. I think that this may be the first book that I read. I don't know. I'm going back and forth between reading this first or Black No More first, because I have to start a book today. I'm ready to get into these pages and just, I don't want to say escape, but just be, you know? So I'm excited about this. Comment down below if this was on your radar. I have another video coming about my most anticipated releases by Black authors in 2026. I don't know when I'm gonna post it. I recorded it like 2 weeks ago, but at some point y'all gonna get it, and this was on there. This is on the list, so I'm glad I got my first new release of 2026. Yeah. Now, the last 2 books on my TBR are books from my January TBR that I didn't get to, but you know what? They fit the bill. I'm reading them. I still wanted to read them in January. I just didn't get to it because I had a moment there where I was mood reading. For real, I try to stick to my TBR. I really do. I really do. When we're talking Black classics, I always think of Toni Morrison. I am so excited to read Sula. This will be my second book by Toni Morrison. I read The Bluest Eye last year, and I recently went ham and bought all of her books that have these covers because they just recently changed all the covers. So I panic bought them all because I don't know, it's just something about these covers that's just so classic to me. I know this book is about 2 women who grew up being friends but then end up being enemies or something. I don't know too much, but I know that it's gonna be good. Another short read. What I was thinking was, I have a lot of short books on my TBR this month, so I probably will get through them all. Maybe. We'll see, unless I'm emotionally devastated by them and then don't want to read because I am emotionally devastated. That is a real possibility. I don't know. And then the last book that we have is Sweet Heat by Bolu Babalola. I read Honey and Spice with my book club back in November, I want to say, and I enjoyed it, and everyone has said that this book is even better. I've seen some people say that this is their favorite romance of all time, their favorite book of 2025, so many high praises for this book. I still don't know, why haven't I read it? So I will definitely be getting to this month. I cannot put this off another month. I need it to be everything that y'all said this book was gonna be. Okay? And if it's not, put them up. No. But yeah, that's all the books that I plan to read in the month of February. I am so excited to get into them. Please comment down below if you've read any of them, if you love them. I hope that you have a great reading month in February and that you are reading some black books, okay? Because why wouldn't you? Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you sooner than you think. Bye.